Hello guys, today is episode 2 of the Cubs podcast, Bullpen and Beyond. Today we're going to be talking about where the Cubs are currently standing in the offseason and what more further moves they have to make in order to better themselves and in order to improve from this year's season's finish for the Cubs. And the first topic is, do they need another pitcher? Because I feel like they do, but the Astros just signed main really good pitcher in Japan, Amaya, for a 3-year deal, like 20-something million. So actually it's a substantial deal for a Japanese pitcher as now in the MLB because of Shohei Ohtani, Seiya Suzuki, who the Cubs have. There's been more and more Japanese signings, but they kind of they didn't need him, but that was one of the options that could have been available to the Cubs because even though he's not left-handed like Mackenzie Gore, like we talked about last episode, that would still be a really good high reliever. He dropped his walk rate down from 12% his entire career, which I think he's played like 5 years, 6 years, somewhere around there in the Japanese baseball league. And to now 7% in the 2025 season. Honestly, pretty good stuff, but he's not in the picture because he just signed with the Astros. But I still think we need another pitcher. Like we just got Hunter Harvey for a $1 million deal. But like yesterday or a couple days ago, this week, which is good. He is injury prone, so we'll just see how that works out. But he has elite stuff, really good curveball, really good fastball. And the Royals had a decent year. He was on the Royals last year. They had a decent year this year, so I think it would still be a good addition because the Cubs have lost a lot of guys in the bullpen. But yeah, I think we still need a main starting pitcher. And I'm going to try and think of some people, but mainly Mackenzie Gore because he's still available. And Amaya's gone. Guys like, mainly Mackenzie Gore. And mainly Mackenzie Gore. That's honestly all I can think about right now. All I can think of on the top of my head. But the next thing I'm going to talk about is do we need another key position player, key DH? Do we need a key player like that? I think maybe it's a possibility that we need a player like that, but we have players like Matt Shaw. He had a solid year. He's young, but he had an uprise. He did the first tournament in Japan, actually, because we were talking about Amaya, the pitcher on the Astros now. In Japan, actually, he started off kind of not as good, but he actually ended up getting better throughout the season. He doesn't have insane power, but you don't always need power because not a lot of the guys besides PCA, Tucker, which hopefully he gets re-signed. We'll talk about that probably in another episode. But and Seiya Suzuki, Michael Busch, stuff like that, they don't all have power, but Matt Shaw still shows uprise. But another guy that could be pivotal and crucial to the Cubs clubhouse come 2026 season is Alex Bregman. The Red Sox literally yesterday just gave him an aggressive offer. I don't know the details, but if it's an aggressive offer and he got for the first 2 years of his contract with the Red Sox the first year actually. The first year on the Red Sox, $120 million for 3 years. So the Cubs could end up paying similar around that. And I think honestly the Cubs is a really good organization to go to, even though that's my favorite team, but still, I think it would benefit them because I feel like that would push them to being more serious, which is our next thing I'm going to talk about, because I really think it would just impact them, because the thing is, even though we have Matt Shaw and he has good uprise, I think Alex Bregman would bring the veteran presence, and he's had World Series experience. He's been on the Astros for a while. He just went to the Red Sox. Honestly, he did have some injuries, but he had a really solid year, especially in the first half of the season. And I really just think he brings the veteran presence. Really, honestly, solid, strong arm for defense. Same with Matt Shaw, because I've seen him do some amazing, insane plays at third. But even as Alex Bregman as DH, that also could be good, but we do have Seiya Suzuki there, so yeah. I think it could be a good fit. It would be kind of a bigger deal, kind of, but I think this would impact them, and it would be a good decision, maybe. But because I feel like we could use that veteran presence for Matt Shaw, but time will tell. And the next topic, like I was talking about, is, are the Cubs actually serious, and are they trying to win now? What I mean by now is, are they trying to win the World Series or the pennant, and are they going to try and make moves that will make them win the pennant next year or in the next 5 years, or try to push to get a World Series? Because now, since it is 2026, they haven't won the World Series in 10 years, but besides 2016, they haven't won it in a really long time. But this year was very promising. So I don't think they're trying to play it safe. I think they've addressed the main issues with the bullpen. Even though Hunter Harvey is a little injury prone, he still has good stuff. All the other guys I talked about last week, Jacob Webb, Phil Maton, those guys, they've addressed the issues. I don't think they're playing safe, but I think there's still a couple more issues they have to address. I think they are really trying to win, because I think this is a solid organization, and I really think in 5-6 years they could be even better, even if they don't always go, even if they consistently make the playoffs, but they're not always insanely good in the playoffs. They're consistently making it more and more, because that was the first time in 5 years since 2020 they made it. Last year in 2025, in the 2025 season. But yeah, I think they're pushing to win. They just got to the front office just has to make a little more moves with key guys like Alex Bregman, guys like that. But I think there's high promise there, and I really think we'll just have to see. They didn't really make that many moves this week, but they did sign Hunter Harvey, and I think but besides the bullpen, they have to try and get a guy like Alex Bregman, because, like I already said, the veteran presence. And everywhere else, though, I feel solid about the team. Ian Happ's doing good. He's honestly underrated. I could talk about that in another episode too. And yeah. One more thing is, what's the one move you guys think the Cubs need to make? Just let me know. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys next episode.